My grandson's name is Steve the Fourth. I'm Steve 2. My dad was Steve 1 and my son is Steve 3. And around 7 months old, our grandson had a convulsion. And we found out that he had a major brain tumor at the time, and it was diagnosed as cancerous. But we found out it wasn't, but it was a very complicated tumor in that it was like an octopus, and it was attached to many portions of his brain.
We adopted Viola from Russia when she was 4.5, knowing she was deaf. We were specifically looking for a deaf or hard of hearing child, and she was the one that we found. And when we picked Viola up, she had no form of language and didn't even know her own name. She was completely nonverbal, and she made like these squeaking sounds like a chipmunk. And we actually nicknamed her Squeak.
If we took Stevie camping or something like that, and he was like any other child, you know, he wanted to get involved in the action, and he'd go over there and he may want to play a game, and 2 or 3 boys might come up and they might ask him a question. And unless I was there to basically say, Stevie can't talk, but he can understand you, within a minute they'd be gone. And even in our family, even though people understood Stevie's communication issue, and even though some of them knew minor sign languages, he was pretty much playing by himself. Everybody would leave him, and he was pretty much playing with innate objects. His friends became Captain Hook, Peter Pan, you know, people that would hang out with him.
When she was at the public school up by us, she wanted to be in the quiz bowl, and she tried to participate in sports. And they always used to tell me how impressed they were that Viola was so, I forget what the word was, but basically, oh, isn't that adorable that Viola wants to try to be like the other kids. They didn't say it quite that condescending, but that's, you know how sometimes when somebody's trying to be polite, but they really come across kind of meh? That's kind of what it was like. Oh, isn't that cute? Viola wants to try to be normal. That's the way I heard it, and it's like, Viola is normal. She just can't hear. She's as normal as any hearing person sitting in an auditorium trying to hear a speaker whose microphone's not working. If right now they were to cut off this mic and I were to keep talking, your IQ wouldn't drop 50 points because the sound went away. And it's the same way with my daughter. The decision to bring her here was not a single moment in time. It started in the fall 2 years ago when I saw things were getting very bad for her at school. And in Michigan, they start middle school in 6th grade, and middle school is 6, 7, 8. She was in 5th grade, and I knew she didn't have the skills ready to make that jump to middle school. I really don't think she's getting what she needs, and we're seeing her papers come home, and she was going backwards. She was in the 1st percentile for math. So in January, she went to 5th grade camp, and she was gone. I took her to the school early on Monday morning, and I picked her up after school on Thursday. I said, Chris, we need to look at the deaf school. And he's like, no, no. I said, you remember when Viola was gone this last week? She would come home Friday if she was at the deaf school. It would be just like this. He's like, but it's not every week, and he fought it, and he's like, no. And after about, I want to say it was about Valentine's Day, he finally said, you're right, she's not getting any better. We can schedule a school visit. And we came here, it was the whole family, and we toured, and we said, if you want to come, you can come. And she said, tomorrow? And I said, no, you have to live with mommy and daddy a few more months. But she put on our calendar, not last day of school, but she had a countdown. It was August 19th was the first day she was going to be able to come. And she started the countdown in March, countdown till I go deaf school, countdown till I go deaf school. That's all she said, you know, 80 days till I go deaf school, 50 days till I go deaf school. And she made more progress here in 3 months than she did in 2 years at the hearing school.
And quite frankly, even to this day, it was a very difficult decision. Mom, Jenny, obviously wants the best for her son, but she really couldn't stand the thought of being separated from her child 5 days a week. So we offered to move here to Cincinnati, to bring Stevie home every weekend. And Greg, the director of this school made an offer that they couldn't refuse. They said, let Stevie come to our school for 2 months at no cost to see if it works. Now for me, after the very second day of school, Stevie said to me that this was better than Christmas. And for me, that's all I needed to hear. But about 3 or 4 days later, this is a Catholic school, by the way, and we're Catholics, and yeah, I pray maybe once a year at Thanksgiving, thanking God for my dinners and stuff, but I looked over there and here was Stevie praying. Caught me out of the corner of my eye, and he had just thanked God for his new friends. And then he told me it was my turn to pray. So then we knew we were staying here. At least I knew it. And so rather than go back home and ask Mom and Dad if we were staying, we went out and bought a home and basically told them, we're here to stay. We love it. Obviously, Stevie loves it. He went to the Halloween party. He's playing basketball. He was in the chess club. He got $5 for the best costume. So his life has really, really changed. And academically, this is the end of the first quarter. I mean, this is based on his peers in his classroom. He had 5 A's and 3 B's, and the 2 B's were only half a point away from being A, so we were delighted. I can't think of anything that's been more rewarding in my life. Nothing. My job, working, retiring, nothing has been more rewarding in my life than being able to help this child become a useful citizen. Okay, so yeah, I will tell you, this was the first report card, we just got it last Wednesday, that we ever got from a real school where he got out of the car, walked in, competed with other kids, and it was a major reward to see his accomplishments and to know how far we brought him from being told that he couldn't learn anything.